didn't know what a whizzer was, so we got our pink whizzer here that we're gonna use to mix up our pink drink. We're just having some electrolytes. We're gonna take you guys on for a full day of eating, some training, and a bit about, oh Jesus. Every time we do these, for some reason, we just organize it after a day at work and my brain just is pouring out of my ears. What we're gonna do today, I'm gonna drink this, we're gonna get hydrated, we're gonna go out to the gym, and I'm gonna take you guys along for a full day of eating, kind of give you some insight into what I eat to fuel training. And I think one of the things that a lot of people have issues with is getting protein in. So I'm gonna show you some of the foods I eat each and every day to ensure that I get anywhere from 200 to 250 grams of protein. And I also like to eat, so it's not gonna be steamed chicken and broccoli. It's gonna be different food, things I enjoy. The only way a diet is sustainable is if you enjoy it. So that's what we're doing today. A little bit of hydration, got the gym clothes on, gym's preheating. We're gonna knock out a workout. I think one of the things that I'm trying very hard to do this year, whether it's in like short form content or long form content, is be yourself. It's funny when a camera comes out, it's just like so hard just to be who you are. I think we're always trying to be someone else or be someone that we wish or hope that people want to see on camera. And it's just so strange. You wouldn't think that like just being who you are is so challenging, but like for some reason, as soon as that lens is focused at your face, it becomes really hard. So we're working on it. We're going to improve. I'm just going to try to give it to you straight because I'm a weird dude. So we're just going to rock. We're going to roll and just going to try to be Mitch. So for all you coffee aficionados, you probably see what I do and you absolutely cringe. That being said, we haven't had many videos up, but the people love the Pavoni. I inherited this from my dad. It didn't even work. I brought it to some Italian dude at this coffee shop. He nearly jumped out of his seat when he saw the thing. He was so excited to work on it. And now she, jeez. Now she works like a charm. Just a little bit of user error, that's all. Straight espresso to the dome here. I remember my dad used to go, there's an Italian bakery he always used to go to. He would order an espresso, and I remember being like 8 years old trying this. I thought the guy was drinking absolute motor oil. This is a means to an end at this point. This is the pre-workout. I'll put some hair on your chest. Let's do this, AJ. So I don't actually shoot these videos myself. AJ's behind the camera. He's the one that has to deal with all my weird, quirky insaneness. So I think it's important. The guy behind the camera, people should know about him. You're just as much of a part of this as I am. AJ was actually a training of client of mine when we met a couple years ago. So the fact that this has become this kind of cool full circle relationship is cool. So me and AJ are actually gonna bang out a workout together now because he has to spend the next 3 hours with me. I'm gonna take him through a workout just as some collateral for the unfortunate circumstance of having to spend the day with me. So I think we're gonna hit some arms today, AJ. I'm feeling banged up. I hit a run and a gear workout at work yesterday. Also, drop in the comments if you guys would like to see a gear workout, because every time I think that I'm in good shape, I do one of those and it absolutely annihilates me. Just with like the extensive amount of like running and marathon and Ironman training I've done, I know my heart rate zones pretty well, and for me to get my heart rate above 165 is extremely difficult. I think we hit like 176 yesterday during this gear workout, so the heat stress and all that stuff that is associated with wearing your gear is just next level, and it always humbles the crap out of me. So if you guys are interested in seeing something like that, drop a comment below. Today I think we're just going full broski. We're going so broski that I got the pump cover on. I got the sleeveless underneath here. We're gonna wait till we get a little warmed up, get a little glaze going, and then we're gonna bang out some arms. So I don't think today's gonna be super functional. Today's just gonna be like hitting the session, checking the box, going back to my roots. Because like, although I love functional training and I think it is the way forward, and maybe there is some functional elements that will incorporate. The reason I fell in love in the gym in the first place was like the era of the Jay Cutlers, Ronnie Coleman's. Bodybuilding is kind of what got me into the gym originally. So to say that I never hit arms is definitely not true. We got to stroke the ego every once in a while, and I think that's what today's gonna look like. And I know EJ's in for it, so we're gonna hit it. Oops. We have no WSIB, so be careful. The reality of it is like the reason there's nothing in my fridge is because my wife's been gone for a week. I eat like a child when she's not here. But we went to the grocery store to show you guys what I eat most days when she's around. I think that's the thing, is like at the end of the day, not every meal is gonna be this like picture perfect Instagram ready meal. Sometimes all it is a little bit of veg, a little bit of carbs, some protein. It doesn't always have to be super pretty. So this is why we can't have nice things, because every piece of clothing I wear, every hat I wear, I end up working out and I destroy. So we got our workout model. This is the hat equivalent of putting your Crocs into sport mode. We got the workout hat on. Let's go, let's do it.
Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah.
One of the things AJ was just doing is what I see a common mistake when people train. He was doing it right, but a lot of people, when they train arms, they're coming forward and they're letting their elbows come forward. As soon as I max out that range of motion with my bicep, I'm just working my shoulders at this point. So arms by your side, shoulders protracted a little bit, and come up and back down. We don't need to be coming up all the way here, because again, we're just working our shoulders. So really focus on that bicep, squeeze, keep those elbows by your side. And you'll notice when you get tired, that's when you'll start to come forward, because you start to use bigger muscles to help out that bicep. Same thing applies with that tricep. So as soon as we're coming up here with the tricep, now I'm working my lats. I want to keep my arms down, elbows by my side, and just focus, keeping those elbows where they are, and just hitting that tricep. I'm working my back, not sloppy. Arms, especially, is all about time and retention and quality of reps. So squeeze, nice and slow. Squeeze, nice and slow. Squeeze. Alexa, play.
Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar. Yeah. Hey, look, top floor lifestyle.
I remember, again, it was like the era of bodybuilders. I'd always intentionally try to wear something like really big when I started my workout. Probably because I had the ego of a 19-year-old, but like you start to take your outer layer off and you'd be looking for the reactions. It was always because people probably thought I was a big old fluffy chunky ginger underneath, and who knows, maybe I surprised one or two people. Pumping gauge, we're climbing and banging. Alexa, play. I'm gonna quote the great Arnie, the pump is coming. Have you seen that? Oh my God, you haven't seen that?
I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people. I get the same feeling. So I'm coming day and night.
Way too high, ain't coming down. You see me if you looking up. I don't really talk too much. I show them running numbers up. Lucky that I'm showing up. I'm going off. They know what's up. Wrist too silly, yeah. Numbers crack the Billy. Yeah, don't need no dilly. I'm too fresh. I feel like Willie, yeah. Feel the duffels up the sign. I need a million. I'm about to take off, and I know that I'm on their radar. Top 10 radar, yeah, we on your radar. Never miss, dog, and that's on occasion. Yeah, we on your radar.
So that is pretty much a typical morning. Wake up, hydrate, coffee, train, and then now it's time to get stuck into some work. So first thing I do when I wake up is I usually check on my clients, see if there's any questions, anything that I need to answer right away, any fires I need to put out, no pun intended. And then now is kind of when I get stuck into my deep work. So from like 10 o'clock till 1, editing, any sort of programming stuff I have to do. This is kind of my opportunity to get a lot of work done. And then I have more client calls and stuff like that in the evening time. That's kind of where we are at. So I'm going to get stuck into some editing to start here. I have another call this morning as well. So I got to hop on with a member of my team and do that. I prioritize the most important things, at least for me personally, in the morning, which is training, because ultimately if I train, I show up as my best, I feel my best, it improves my mood, all that good stuff. So that is the most important thing. And I think for anyone that's trying to make these changes, you want to ultimately make sure that the things that are going to make you feel your best, allow you to move towards your goals, are the first thing you do, because ultimately if you leave it to the end of the day, it might not get done. So check that box, win the morning, win the day. I truly believe that. I never in a million years is like, you know, this blue collar firefighter guy ever thought that I'd have an office like this, but it's kind of funny when, you know, when you apply yourself, when you do certain things, it's amazing what things can change. And I'm going to go ahead and send AJ behind the camera a photo of when I started. I was literally in my gym. I had my wife's laptop because I didn't even have a laptop at the time. No lighting, no acoustic paneling, no nothing, but it's just a testament to ultimately you have to get started somewhere. And the only way to get where you want to go is through imperfect action. So I didn't always have this set up. This is definitely something that I've accumulated over the years, but it's funny where you end up. It's funny when you actually realize, you know, what is possible. And I think as someone who never was really great at school, wouldn't have considered myself an academic, it's cool to see when you just work hard and stay persistent, you know, what you can achieve. So I had so many, you know, glass ceilings where I always put myself in this box and labeled myself as a certain person, and a lot has changed. It's amazing being able to do this, share this with you guys, and hopefully you can find some insight and inspiration if you're on the fence. Gonna crack into some work. I never used to be, in a million years, would I ever say like I would like be a candle guy, but my wife has been buying me candles, and there's something about it. I don't know if it's just like calming, it smells nice, but it just gets me feeling some type of way. Throw the headphones in and crack on. Haven't eaten anything. I'm a big fan of fasting, and this is one of the reasons, because fasting is really good, especially when you incorporate it with things like a little bit of exercise, and caffeine is really good for focus. I'm sure you guys have all experienced that feeling of having like a ton of carbs or a big breakfast and you feel like you want to take a nap. Fasting is really good for feeling wakeful, feeling energized. So that's why I don't really eat in the beginning part of the day when I'm doing the most of my deep work, because it allows me to stay focused and stay alert. But after we crack on with some work, get some editing done, get our video up for today, we're gonna go grab out meal number one. Is gonna be some overnight oats that are already prepped. Failure prepares, preparing to fail. So we got stuff ready in the fridge. I'm gonna stop rambling now because I got the shit-faced sleepy brain. I have this like really weird bone that I've gotten a bunch of x-rays on and stuff, and it makes me look like really weird and pigeon chested. This is just an example of the internet. And I've always kind of known my chest has been a little bit deformed, but I think I received a video on the internet that said, look at this pigeon-chested loser. So I think it's really hard when you start out like putting yourself out there online to like not let this stuff bug you, but now I just kind of laugh at it. I'm just a big pigeon-chested loser, I guess. But we're providing some feedback to a client. I think it's easy to get hung up on all the things that we wish we could change about ourselves, but one thing I'm trying to communicate to him is like, we're just human. None of us are perfect, whether it's our physique, the way we look, the color of our hair. I think I wanted to like stray away or, you know, avoid being the person that I was for so long, because I was that like chubby ginger kid. And, you know, I always wanted to look a different way and dress a different way. But one thing that I've, you know, it's taken me 30 years to realize is like being authentically yourself is the most like liberating and enjoyable thing you can do. So be yourself, man. AJ was just asking like if there's anything on here that I wanted to show you, and I was like, yeah, I want you to show you that picture tucked back in there. But the reason for that is because it's a picture of my papa, and he was the most fire-centric, into the job guy in the world. And this was many moons ago. This is a copy of the Canadian Firefighter magazine circa like 94, I think. And it's so weird. My parents say the same thing, and I feel that a big reason why I'm so passionate about what I do is because a big part of Norm Gorley lives on in me. And this has happened the last 3 times, and maybe it's because it's a page I've flipped to a bunch, so I'm not going to look into it too much. But every time I open one of his magazines, I always open to where his issue is. And like, I mean, there is, and I want to be really delicate because it's funny, as you get older and things become more sentimental, this means a lot to me. There's 36 pages in here and I just magically, you know, flip to him. So that is the man right there. I think that's the man that kind of, you know, has made me, you know, as passionate about the job as I am. And I think his voice lives on in me, and that's why I share my love for the job and my passion and how I want to help you guys feel and perform your best. I think this is going to hit home for a lot of people, a family in the fire service, as he died when I was really, really young because of presumptive cancer, because of the job that he did. And I really wish that I had the opportunity to, you know, talk shop with him. And I wish he could, you know, see what I've become and, you know, the fireman that I am today. I know that he is, you know, looking down and probably, you know, is seeing this, but and that's, you know, a big part. That's why it's in the center here. That's why it's in the center there. Miss you, Pops, which I got to know you a little bit better, but we'll meet again one day. Anyways, enough of that musty shit. Let's get back to work and go eat. So, that's it, you guys. Got some work done. Productive start to the day. It's 12:03. We're gonna have our first meal. Like I said, I had some overnight oats prepped in the fridge, so we're gonna bang that out. I'll drop the recipe in the description as well for you guys. This is one of my go-to meal prep recipes. You can make a whack of it. It's loaded with protein. Some quick carbs post-workout, so a good way to refuel. Top up those glycogen stores, get a little bit of energy. Doesn't look the most appealing as it poops on the counter. This is actually one of like my favorite meals of the day. So for the longest time, I kind of weighed out my food, counted my macros. So I kind of have an idea, and this is what I tell to a lot of my clients is if you don't think that counting calories is sustainable long-term, that's fine. What you need to do is do it for, you know, 2 weeks, 2 months to really get an understanding of what you should be eating in a day, and you can have that like kind of mental picture. And then from there, ultimately, if you're, you know, your body weight's staying where you want, you're feeling how you want, you're performing how you want, you can just kind of continue to go off that mental image and just eat that way, eat intuitively, make good decisions. The biggest shortcoming with most people is their nutrition. People think that they're eating well, but until you actually track your food, count calories, you don't really know what you're putting in your body. So it's definitely something that I would recommend if you feel like you're not making progress in the gym. So we're gonna do those overnight oats. Another thing that I have each and every day is a little bit of kefir. So this is like a fermented dairy beverage. Sounds gross, but I love the taste of it. I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of maple syrup for sweetness, awesome for gut health. And this is going to be meal number one. And you know you're from the Great White North when you just have a random mason jar in your fridge with no label on it. This is full of this dark amber gold maple syrup. Gonna crush this back, probably get stuck into a little bit more work. I got a couple calls, and then we'll be back here for, I guess, like my main breakfast or my first like real big meal of the day, which is gonna be some huevos, or for those of you that don't speak Spanish, eggs. All right, you guys, as I mentioned, getting into my first like real meal of the day. That first meal would be considered a meal, but I think like this is what I consider in my mind as like my main breakfast. So I'm gonna have some eggs. I usually do about like 4 to 5 eggs, and then a little bit of avocado on the side. Then we got some sourdough toast that we're gonna do there. Again, I'm not gonna know the macros off the top of my head. Maybe we'll toss the macros down below just so you guys have an idea of how many calories, grams of protein, macros that I eat in a day. As someone who's 5'10", 205 pounds, just give you some context of what I eat. Yeah, I'm in the process. I'm on camera right now. Tell the people that they should subscribe to the Everyday Heroes YouTube channel.
Tell them?
Yeah, with conviction. Come on.
Okay, people, you have to subscribe to the Everyday Heroes YouTube video.
YouTube channel.
Okay, people, you gotta subscribe to the Everyday Heroes YouTube channel. So much information on health, fitness, mental well-being. You gotta do it. Mitch knows it all.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Plugging the channel. I'm literally like in the midst. Like there's AJ. Have you met AJ?
Hi.
Yeah, we're doing.
Okay, you gotta do that. Okay, bye, AJ.
See ya.
Good luck. See ya. Eggies. You think I can go and not crack a yolk in both or break a yolk in both the crack and the flip? That'd be impressive. I'm gonna go 5 today to feed those armadillos we just trained. Oh God. Okay, she's still intact. You got some shell in there, but pro tip, getting shell out of your eggs, use the shell to scoop the shell. I cut an avocado or eat avocado. I think of like a Vine. If you didn't know what Vine was, it was TikTok before TikTok. The free shavacado Vine.
Free shavacado.
Some healthy fats in addition to the egg and the toast. Eggs ready for a flip. This is the true moment of truth. True moment of truth. Oh baby, perfect. Didn't bring the toast. One thing I realized is the eggs sense fear. So you gotta just like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Also kind of a little crispy on the bottom. I think we might be okay. I'm literally just gonna give it like a couple seconds just to seal. My old platoon chief, when I used to make breakfast at work, or when he was around, I still make breakfast at work, but he said, and I quote, just knock the snot off. That is what he asked for. He wanted his egg just flipped over so the snot was knocked off. So I think that's what we're going for here today. I don't know, AJ, we're looking pretty good. Let's see, moment of truth. Oh. I give that like a 8 out of 10. No, like a 7.3. Here's one for the comment section. Eggs and ketchup, yes or no? I'm an eggs and ketchup guy. This is some bougie organic ketchup. I go through egg phases. I'm like a scrambled guy and then I'm like an omelet guy. Today we went with 5 over sleazy. ASMR. A little bit more work done, and now time for some yogurt. Hitting your protein goal isn't challenging. Knowing the right foods to eat makes it easy. So overnight oats, again, text would be on screen about how many grams of protein in there, but I'm gonna say like in the neighborhood of anywhere from like 35 to 50. Eggs, around 35 to 40 grams. And then we're gonna do a yogurt bowl here. So we're gonna be around another probably 40 plus grams of protein because my lovely wife makes this delicious granola that she actually uses sourdough discard for, which makes it amazing. It's all homemade ingredients, no wacky seed oils or anything weird. And then she also puts these little whey protein pellets in there. You can't really taste them. It's more like a textural thing like puffed rice would be in granola, but they add a crap load more protein. So this is an absolute staple. In my diet today, we're going with some vanilla skyr, which is basic Icelandic yogurt. It's a little thicker than Greek yogurt, a little higher in protein. So again, just because I've counted calories for many a year, I kind of know what we're looking for. We're gonna try to make it pretty for you guys, nice and quick. Make my sweetie proud. Raspberries. Get them in the bowl, ideally. Blackberries with low-key. Ooh, low-key might be one of my faves. Looking good there. Some good fiber, healthy sugar, and then we're going in with some granola. I do have to admit, some ASMR stuff is kind of one of my guilty pleasures. And that's it. That is kind of meal 3, if you want to say. A whole whack of protein, some fruit, all homemade. That's the thing too, is when you make stuff yourself, it is just better, and it's better for you, and it tastes good, and it doesn't have any weird and wacky preservatives or anything in there. All right, you guys, on to dinner. Full transparency, we're eating a little earlier today for the sake of the video. Gonna utilize some daylight so things look a little prettier on camera, but very typical dinner for me. I eat a lot of red meat. Ribeye is actually my favorite cut. Shout out to the folks at Northern Rays. They've been sending me a bunch of this high quality, grass-fed, non-GMO, locally sourced meat that has been absolutely delicious. So gonna have one of those and then just some veg on the side, which is pretty typical dinner for me. Just focus on high protein, get some fiber, get some nutrients. Got some broccoli here, just gonna simply roast that. I love to cook. My wife would laugh because she says I never cook because I mainly cook at work. I do about like 90% of the cooking. So whenever I'm at home, I don't have the energy or the desire, and she is an amazing cook. I always joke because I steal all her recipes, bring them into work, and then everyone praises me, when really it's my sweetie pie at home that is the one that is making these. I grew up, like, instead of watching, like, playing video games and doing stuff, I was that kid that was, like, watching the Food Network. So it's definitely a passion of mine, and I still, you know, like to try my hand at things around the kitchen. Because I'm living the bachelor life this week is the wife's way, I'm on duty today. So pro tip for asparagus, if you wanna know where to cut it, bend it, wherever it breaks, you can kind of use that. This is the real woody part that you don't wanna eat. No one wants that. Find that spot where it breaks naturally. That's gonna tell you where it needs to be cut down. You can see those two guys are on the exact same spot. So we use those right around where that elastic is. And there you go. Just gonna do a simple roast on these guys. So sheet pan, a little bit of olive oil. Roast these guys real quick. Find roasting vegetables is my favorite way to eat them. I feel like it just adds so much flavor. So those guys will all tossy toss. Then we got a 425 oven. We're just gonna toss these babies in here. Crock pot in there from the sourdough making activities. And usually, if I can remember, I'll season the steak ahead of time, but we forgot today. Nice local ribeye. Food is fuel. You are what you eat. And I think one of the things that I've tried to prioritize is putting good food in my body. And this is the kind of stuff that we like to keep around the house. Ultimately, it is more expensive, but you gotta fuel the machine. You gotta put good food in your body. So what the heck is he doing? Why is he doing that? Ultimately, the drier the exterior of this steak is, the better sear I'm gonna get. They refer to it as the Maillard reaction. So a nice dry steak is gonna make sure that it sears and doesn't steam. Get a nice crust on the outside. Salt both sides. And I usually finish with some pepper after it's done. So don't be afraid to season your meat. Sodium is not the enemy, especially if you're active and you train. Electrolytes are important. Sodium is important. So I'm gonna let those asparaguses cook for a little bit, and then I'm spitting on myself, nice. And then we're gonna get this steak going. Nice hot pan. Okay, we got a screaming hot pan. We're gonna do a little drizzle of avocado oil. I'm gonna do like 3 to 4 minutes per side. I like my steak pretty rare. We're not gonna be doing talking because we gotta get this baby firing because it'll get smoky in here and we don't want to set the smoke alarms off. So engage. The bed of nails. Oh. So for anyone that doesn't know, this is called like a Shakti mat or an acupuncture mat. I think one thing I try to do is like throughout the day, I have a pretty busy schedule, but just to take like 5 to 10 minutes just to like do nothing and just chill out. And it's a good way to do it. Although you might look and be like, what? You're laying on an acupuncture mat. How can that be relaxing? It has this really like nice reflective relaxation effect. So I'll usually, between the day, if I need a little break or to get away from a screen or a computer, I'll lay on this bad boy for 5-10 minutes. Yeah, if you have a hard time being alone with your thoughts, that's probably an indication that you need to do that more often. So I'm gonna take a couple deep breaths here, chill out for a bit, and then crack on with the day. The last thing I'll usually have is kind of my go-to sort of like pre-bed snack. Obviously a little bit early, but for the sake of the video today, is I'll usually do 2 scoops of whey protein with some water or milk, depending on what's kicking around, and if I need to get some more calories in, and then a banana. This is kind of my last hit of protein, a little bit of a sweet treat to end the night. And that is pretty much a full day of eating. And that's it, you guys. That's a full day of eating and training as a firefighter and fitness coach. So if you want to see more content like this, smash that subscribe button. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. New York. Unique New York. Near Semi Street. Near Streamlit. Oh my god, I got a lisp now. And that's it, you guys. This is a full day of eating to train. Firefighter and fitness coach prioritizes movement and beat. Fuck, you gotta think about what you're gonna say before you actually say it. And that's a full day of eating and training as a firefighter and fitness coach who, someone who wants to hit their protein goal, but also, what are you saying?